Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gamers. Oh, wait a second. All right. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gamers Lounge podcast. My name is John Meadows. With me as always is Eric and Nathaniel. It still says Dennis. I'm waiting on Dennis to get me some new things.
Today I will be playing the role of Dennis.
Again. Yeah, it was. You did such a good job the last time. We had you back as Dennis again this time.
Perfect. At least I'm not the banana guy.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I thought I was going to be if this camera wasn't going to be working right. Goodness gracious. You know, you only use something every 2 weeks and you never change anything. And your computer's only on usually 1 day a week anymore. And but, you know, stuff doesn't want to work. I used to leave my computer on all the time. And now, like this computer, if it's on 48 hours a week, it's lucky. I shut it down when I leave and I don't turn it on again until I come home.
Okay, you should. There's no reason to leave it on that
No.
long if you're not going to use it.
No, I mean, I just don't see the sense in it just having a blinking light. Hey, we're still here and waiting. Are you coming home? You coming home today? No? Okay, well, we'll still be here blinking and waiting for you tomorrow. Okay. Did you come home today? No? Okay. Poor computer. He's so lonely.
So lonely.
But, you know, whatever. Technical difficulties aside, it's always something. So, but, you know, we're here to talk about games, not technical difficulties, even though technical difficulties is always... seems to be always part of the game now, so yeehaw. But yeah, so we'll start off with what we've been playing, which I noticed in the notes. You know, there's a lot of games that I didn't even know existed that I played. Apparently, it was like
somebody put fake games in there. So
Yeah,
when I put my list, I copy pasted them to elsewhere, so they weren't on mine. So that's how I got yours, John.
Yeah,
I've been playing some cool stuff too. This one game. Dwayne Johnson's movie Marathon Bonanza.
Yeah,
I can't wait to play that.
I
thought
maybe it was Dwayne Johnson's XFL football extravaganza, whatever thing. You know,
no, that's boring. We want movie Marathon Bonanza. That's the better one.
Gotcha. Okay.
Bonanza.
Only it existed. We'll will it into existence.
Perfect.
If it doesn't. Dwayne Johnson will have it in existence because that's the way he rolls. That man is a marketing machine. He is.
He is.
He is on everything and has everything. It is unbelievable. So, but yeah. So, really, the only thing that I've been playing, literally, the only thing I've had time to play this week is Hogwarts. Nothing more to say on that other than. It's a role-playing game set in the Harry Potter world, and it's pretty fun.
Cool.
I think I'm about 25 hours into it, something like that.
Wow.
It's the longest I've played a game in a while.
Yeah, it's like usually you haven't made it past a couple hours in anything for a while, so
yeah,
you're definitely putting time in that one.
Yeah, well, it's fun, it's compelling, it's got the fetch quests that I find interesting, so, because you're always going, well, this guy needs help doing this, or this needs help doing that, or, and they pace it out real good that, you got to do these 3 quests to unlock this so you can progress in the story. So, and it's not like, they're not like side quests. They move the main story along. And at the same time, it's like they're actually interesting. Oh, I got to go to class and learn about beastology. I got to go here and I can raise my herbology rank so I can make this potion, and then, I got to go to this class and learn this so I can do this, and, and then I can go out. I can't tell you the last time I've been asleep in that game. For a place where you're not supposed to go around at night and somebody catches you, I've never had a problem, walking around at night and nobody catching me. So it's like, whatever that's all about. I don't. I'm not that deep into Harry Potter lore, so I can't tell you a whole lot about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm having fun with it. I really wish Bus Driver Chronicles was a real game. I really do. That's the one out of this whole list is the Bus Driver Chronicles game. I don't know if, and Eric, you might have remembered this. There was a Japanese game for Dreamcast that was a bus driver simulator game where you drove around Tokyo. It was never released in America, but in Japan it had that was the train game that actually had the steering wheel stuff.
With the controller.
Yeah, had the controller with the. But there was a bus driving game. I actually have it. I don't remember how I got it or anything like that. It's all great and wonderful, but you have to really know how to read Japanese because it'll come on.
That kind of screws us a little bit.
What street do I have to go to? I don't know
It's
Japanese
not
characters. If it said 1, 2, 3 something, I might be able to figure it out. But Bus Driver Chronicles. That would be
interesting.
Really cool.
I might have to check out a video of this. I was thinking about Desert Bus too when you were talking about that.
Oh yeah.
For bus driving games, that game just goes on and on.
Nathaniel, you've been watching a lot of that Psychonauts documentary. I haven't got to start any of it yet, but I hear it's very, very good.
Yeah.
Have you watched it
so
all?
on the Double Fine YouTube, they have it in a whole playlist that's like 22 and a half hours. I watched the whole entire thing. I just
Wow.
Instead of playing stuff for a while, I was just watching that because it's super interesting. Because it's always like, there's a few that are like 30 minutes up to and I think they have a couple that are like more like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Giant ones, but most of them are like 30 to 45 minutes per episode. And it covers the 7 years of time that they were working on Psychonauts 2. The first episode is like 30, 40 minutes, something that's more of a retrospective thing about Psychonauts 1.
Mm.
So they have some interview questions with people who were around at the time of Psychonauts 1, and they've dug up some old footage of them in their old studios and all that kind of stuff, talking about how much of a nightmare it was. And they're all starting on the early episodes talking about hey, Psychonauts 2 surely can't be as bad as that. Spoilers, it was, just in different ways. Good Lord, that so much crap that they had to go through. There's so many people that left over the time of that. There's different things that happened. I'd forgotten they were originally going to be published by Starbreeze when they first started. So here's actually when they first started. They did the crowdfunding through Fig, I think it is. That I don't even know if that still exists.
Is that? Yeah, that was like the independent one, right? The one
yeah,
supposed to give you more money.
Well, something like that, and it's you can be actual investors in the game, unlike Kickstarters and stuff. But I think somebody who either used to work at Double Fine or somebody Tim Schafer knows or something started that, so that's probably why they went with that.
Right.
They didn't really go into it too much, but they raised $4 million for that.
Fig is still around.
There you go. Yeah, they started working on the Psychonauts 2 for a while. Didn't have a publisher for it for the longest time. Where their biz dev guy comes into episodes, everyone's all talk about he's still pitching things everywhere. And then they eventually get Starbreeze to be their publisher, and they're getting money from them. And then for a while they're going along and trying to meet their deadlines and all this stuff. And then Starbreeze goes under because I don't know if you guys remember much about that, but their CEO disappeared and somebody got arrested and some other stuff, and eventually Starbreeze itself just went kaput.
Yeah.
And then there's some hints at it, and then they tell the company right before E3 the one year they're yo, yeah, Microsoft is going to acquire us, and that's when they announced it that one E3.
Gotcha.
And so they bounce through all of that. They have all this stuff where a few of the levels are just super difficult and not working, and there's some mismanagement for some things that made things tougher, and some people leaving, new people coming in, and then COVID hits during the end, and it's the game was supposed to hit alpha so many times, and they never did get get there for the first few times because there's just stuff that wasn't working in it, so technically wasn't in alpha yet. And they eventually did get it out, came on Game Pass, and the game is excellent. But boy, they had a tough road getting there. Sheesh.
Now, had you played the game before you watched the documentary?
Oh, yeah.
You hadn't you?
I had.
I remember.
I got 1,000 gamer score when that came out.
Ooh.
On the thing, I got all the achievements on it. 100% of that game. It's super great.
Yeah.
So when this documentary came out, I was like, "Ooh, I'll watch that. I loved that game." And then. Crazy. The fun thing is, I don't know if you guys ever have heard about Double Fine doing what do they call it? It's Amnesia Fortnite is what they call it, but it's basically kind of an internal game jam. But then they also, I think, broadcast it publicly, at the end, to show off the things that they do in 2 weeks' time. And they did one in 2017 where the people who make these documentaries are actually Double Fine employees, so they're kind of embedded people, and all they do is just run around filming clips, interviewing people, that kind of stuff. But anybody in the company can pitch a game to do for this kind of Amnesia Fortnite thing, and then they pick 4 or 5 of them. I think one's a public vote, and one of the camera guys got picked to do one in 2017, and his game is eventually became the game show like chef cooking thing that's in the game.
Oh,
It was
that's
originally
cool.
this separate thing. They were doing other stuff for that level, and it was never working. And then like one of the times when they're reworking it, like, hey, let's make it this thing. So let's like use the whole concept and ideas of that, which is all pretty much whole there of just like running around on this big set, throwing things into stations, chopping up, moving it around. Completely different, things in the original kind of demo, I guess you'd call it. And then they had to rework it several times before it eventually became what it is in Psychonauts 2. But
I think you had
crazy.
I think you had mentioned that, or maybe I had read something about that.
You probably read about it because I remember, like, after seeing it kind of in this documentary showing up, I was like, I remember reading some stuff about it. Because eventually, I got turned. He's like a designer now, or whatever, like a level designer. I don't know if I assume he's still doing that because he was at the end of Psychonauts 2. So whatever the heck they're working on after that, I assume he moved on to something rather than just going back to camera work. But
right. Yeah.
who knows? Maybe he did.
Yeah, it's on my watch list on YouTube. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. It's easy to watch, like, if you want to binge it kind of like in a bunch of different chunks over several days like I did, you can. If you want to just like watch one at a time, you can go, because every one that you come back has kind of like a previously on.
Gotcha.
So it will remind you of kind of like where you're at in the story. It goes all the ups and downs. There's some fun clips of Jack Black and Elijah Wood when they're doing voiceover recordings for the game. There's all sorts of just neat little nuggets in there.
It's cool.
And so because I was watching that, I was like, I'm going to replay some, and I played through the first boss of the game, so maybe the first, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours.
And I have not finished. I think I played it for like 3 or 4 hours. I'm definitely interested in finishing, of course. And I don't remember. I think maybe I played a little bit of the first game, but yeah, I was definitely interested.
I definitely had played the first game. I've played about half of this one, I think. I played it a lot when it first came out, though. Unfortunately, I just don't have time to sit down in front of a TV and play anymore. So it's like, if it's not on the Switch or my Steam Deck, if I don't have it on that, I probably haven't played it. So.
I think you can get it on Steam.
You can buy it on Steam. I've been tempted to buy it a couple times, but I'm still holding out hope that
you might even be able to get both. But like Psychonauts 1
because I have
really
Psychonauts 1 on Steam.
It's really tough to go back to just because the old controls and all that is dated. Like the ideas and like the levels and the creativity of like the story and the characters and all that's cool, but like just the way it controls and the platforming is like a little bit rough. It's rough around the edges, and it kind of was even a little bit at the time, but it's just aged to where it's like you can still play it and get some fun out of it, but only if you're willing to kind of like be a little frustrated too. But Psychonauts 2 is like, hey, all these crazy ideas and a much more modern, smooth controlling game. Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
they even improved plenty of things, like the combat's better and things like that too. So Psychonauts 2 is well worth playing, and it starts out like a little bit linear, then like opens it up as you go. So you're kind of like a big hub kind of zone area, and then like all the levels that you go into, like the brains are also a little bit bigger than they were in the first Psychonauts, just because, hey, they're making it a decade or whatever plus later.
All right.
And yeah, it's like there's some really, really fun ones. Like that game is that's great. It's like you play it and you're like, man, if all games could be this imaginative, it would be amazing. Even just in different ways, not like we're trying to do it Psychonauts thing, but just like put that much thought into how levels are made. It's not that other games don't, but they're just not as creative and fun and as Psychonauts is. Like, I don't know, Double Fine tends to do that in all their games. They try to put kind of the creativity and imagination sort of first, so you get a different flavor than you do elsewhere.
There's so many Double Fine games I really, really like. Grim Fandango, that was one of my favorite ones. And I have it on the original PC version, big box, and then I bought it again on the remastered. I even bought it. I think I even got it on one of the Fanatical codes on Steam.
Yeah, I think you can still. And if you're interested in buying the physical version of that game, fans of the show, I believe Best Buy still carries the limited run version for PS4.
Yeah. I'm sure
it's pretty reasonable too.
I mean, I like some of their smaller games like Costume Quest that are great.
Yeah.
Ooh, I have not played that.
Yeah, when I go into Brutal Legend, I like that game too. I thought that was always a cool
Brutal
game.
Legend is awesome.
I just look through my Steam library of I've got the original Psychonauts, Brutal Legend, Grim Fandango, Days of Tentacle remastered, Full Throttle remastered, Broken Age. You know, it's
Ooh,
like,
yeah.
gee, I like a lot of Double Fine games apparently because I have
Yeah.
a lot of
Tim
them.
Schafer / Double Fine, because a couple of those were before
Yeah.
Double Fine.
Right? Yeah.
Full Throttle was.
Yeah. But yeah,
Back
I
when
like
he
it.
was at LucasArts, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
Full
like
Throttle, Grim Fandango.
my LucasArts games. But yeah, just looking through, it's like, gosh, I have a lot of those games. But yeah.
I also finished up The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. I don't remember if I'd started it last time. I don't think I think I was ready to start it last time we recorded, so I've now finished it. I think it's like 120 hours this time around going through the whole game.
Jeez.
First time around was 170-ish, so I shaved 50 hours off of it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's surprising with all the all the taking the pictures and
He was just a more efficient killing machine this time.
yeah.
Well, it's like you don't have to guess for any of the quests, and then there's a few quests I just didn't, like a couple smaller quests I just didn't do, and I did not go for every single question mark on the map, but I did most of them. I just didn't go on do all of them and run around and spend the time, all the like kind of open worldiness as much as I did the first time around, because it's like I've spent so much time in this world, I know what it is. I don't need to like explore it quite as much as I did the first time.
Yeah, I need to get back into playing that one because I just haven't. With Hogwarts, it's at this point, it's like, what else am I going to sit down and play? Because I keep trying to, I keep starting to play it, and it's like, no, I'm going to go back and play this. Yeah, that's my problem is I skip around too much, and I'm really trying real hard to to not to not do that, but it is what it is. But yeah,
so now that I finished that giant game, I'm like, I'm gonna play something shorter. So I started the Entropy Center today, and I finished 11 out of 15 chapters. So much shorter game. It is a puzzle game that is like dollar store Portal.
Okay, I was going to say it sounded familiar, but I couldn't remember what it was.
I think Dennis might have played it and talked about it on the show. I don't know, but it did get some, publicity for a while when it came out.
Oh, okay, I remember this one now. Yeah,
I don't remember. Was it last year? I think it was some point last year.
Yeah, it was November. It was the past
Yeah, it's
fall.
like I didn't think it'd been out that long, so I got it on Steam on the holiday Steam sale, so I had it for a little while before I actually booted it up. But it's fun. It's just I wish it was a little bit tighter, but it's an indie game that's probably, I don't know how big the team was, but it's got a little bit of rough edges on it, and it's definitely not trying to pretend that it's not ripping off Portal. So you have kind of instead of a portal gun, you have a gun that manipulates time, so you can like rewind things. So it's and then you have a lot of cube-based puzzles that you would have from Portal and Portal 2. So you have like a regular cube, you have a cube that shoots a laser out of it, you have a cube that's kind of a trampoline, you have launcher plates, you have, trying to think, there's another one that I'm forgetting that's kind of very much just, yes, we ripped this straight out of Portal. Oh, one that like shoots out kind of like a laser platform that you can walk on. So like a holographic platform it's very much the same as like the Portal 2 ones, except that's done with portals and not with like a box generating it, but it's the same kind of thing. They have some other things too, like gates that will transform a cube into a different kind of cube. They have different like conveyor belt levels and other things that you can do that aren't exactly like Portal, but they're very much just like, here's some Portal mechanics that we're going to just do our own thing with it. Your gun also has a little kind of emoji robot face on it that talks to you. That kind of is the conduit for the storytelling. You talk back and forth. Your character talks to it, and then there's also kind of like the facility you're in has kind of like a recorded announcement thing playing of like, hey, this cataclysm thing is happening. Maybe you want to go fix it. This is overloading. This is an announcement of, impending doom, yada yada stuff. I don't pay attention to those as much because a few of them are all the same. It's like, hey, the generator's breaking down and it's at 40%, whatever. And then the next time, hey, it's at 35%. It's at 30%. Like, yeah, I get it. I'm progressing through the level. It's fine. They also have these little robot, like cube-shaped robots that will chase you around. That they have happy faces, and then when they see you, they get angry and they'll like shoot you with like energy. Or there's another kind that just chases you and tries to taser you. I say chase, and that's one of the annoying things about this game that I'm like, oh, this is so stupid. Is that there's no sprinting in this game. Probably because of just for the puzzle design and stuff, they don't want you to be able to move faster. They want it to be like a set speed. But there's a couple times in the game that's basically an Uncharted chase sequence where you're going down like a path and then like, oh, hey, this robot's coming out of the side. You better turn to the right and run away from him. Oh, the path ahead of you is collapsing. Better rewind it so you can keep walking on it. And like, it's all at super slow speed because you're just like walking. It's so good. There's no sprint, so they're trying to be like, "Oh no, it's a chase! You better run!" And it has all that like urgency, or they're trying to get that into it from the way like the voiceover or the music is working for you. But meanwhile, you're just like, "I wish I could go faster."
Plodding along.
I'll move as fast as I like, thank you.
Shoot.
It's like it's nothing terrible. It's just like a weird disconnect that's just kind of funny. It's just
Right.
like you're trying to make this urgent, but you're moving so slow.
That's funny.
So yeah, there's just like little bits where it's a little clunky here or there, and there's like the puzzles aren't really that difficult. Like a few of them I had stumped me for like a couple minutes. I just had to work out like, okay, here's all the pieces that I have to work with, and now I can figure it out and do it. Took a little bit of noodling with the puzzle, but none of them are like super crazy. Like you can just pretty much like run through all the puzzles from the start of the game through over halfway through. Like I don't think I was having any troubles until like maybe chapter 9 or 10. When they have a lot more of the mechanics are in there. When you're in the first early ones, you're like, these are very simple.
Yeah.
They have a couple puzzles that are frustrating because they have those like robots that are chasing you around while you're trying to solve the puzzle and activate, some buttons to turn off lockdown for the room. And you're just like, this is annoying. Like, we didn't have to do this. Because you're just trying to zap me, and then they shoot you with like a little laser ball from across the room, and you're like, but I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to go find the button. What am I supposed to do? I can't even look around because I have to get all you half a dozen stupid robots that are chasing me that keep coming out of the walls as soon as I kill one because they just keep sending more in there. So it's just like, this isn't what's the strong point of this game. But I don't know. I'd probably give it a solid, B. It's not bad, but it's not amazing either.
Right. Yeah. That's cool. I mean, it looks all right.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's a game that probably they should have targeted maybe 9 or 10 chapters and like tightened it up a little bit because it's feeling a bit long at this point. I'm like, okay, I'm not seeing too many like new creative things in the puzzles like often enough. It's like if you compressed it a little bit, it would have been a little bit nicer. Because there's a few times where you're going through like, okay, I've done kind of the same thing enough in a row. Okay, this is fun. Okay, here's a new thing. Awesome, it just takes a little bit too long, I think, at points. So, but it's not terrible either. So I don't remember if that one ever came to Game Pass or not. I think I'm thinking of something else that came to Game Pass. But
I don't know if it did or not. It may.
Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar, or maybe it came and went.
It could have. Let's see. Hang on. I can tell you. So I would say it.
Yeah, it is a $25 game on Steam. So I was trying to remember what the normal price is. I got it for something off in the Steam sale, so I don't remember. I probably paid like $15 or something.
No, it didn't come to Game Pass. So I thought maybe it had. I thought maybe that's
Yeah.
where.
I mean, $25. I'd say it's still worth that if you're into puzzle games for
Yeah.
sure. So it's just like don't expect it to be the most amazing game ever, but it's got some really cool like ideas and some fun puzzles in there amongst some of the ones that are like, okay, that was pretty easy, you know. So it's a little bit up or down. Then again, you know, someone else might play it and be like, this is terrible, but yeah, puzzle games are really hard to gauge that way because some people struggle with some things while others don't. So
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
yeah, that's pretty much what I have been up to.
Cool. Eric, what have you been playing?
Well, according to this list, I've been playing some really other interesting games, but I haven't really been playing much. I played a few things. We'll start with the least exciting. I tried that Gungrave game.
Yeah.
I was looking through stuff I owned on Game Pass, and I'm pretty bad about. I'll be like, oh, this game is on Game Pass. I downloaded it like a month ago. Let's see if it's still there. Oh, yeah, no, they took it off. So I think I dumped deleted like 20, 30 gigs worth of stuff. So, guess I need to rebuy Hades and stuff. But anyway, I tried out Gungrave. It's okay. It's an action-based shooter. It kind of reminds of like an unpolished version of Bayonetta.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe like Vanquish, I guess. Is a good
The
way to look
first
at it.
one always reminded me of Devil May Cry, is what it reminded me of. But that was back. Was that the 360 or original Xbox Gungrave?
I think it's 360. And
I
had
have
read this game. I read people that liked it. People had like mixed opinions on this game, mostly because there's like bugs and stuff. And the combat's supposed to be fast paced, but it felt kind of slow. I don't know. It was okay. I played it for like an hour or so. It was kind of interesting. I don't know. I think it's leaving Game Pass soon too, so that's why I played it.
PS2. PS2 is what it was on.
I downloaded Hot Wheels Unleashed. I've never really played much of a Hot Wheels game. This was one that was talked about a lot on the CAG cast. It's pretty cool. You can race around the car tracks, do the Hot Wheels stunts, unlock the cool cars, lots of DLC.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's so much content. It must have been like 40 items.
I got that off of the I've been doing the monthly Humble thing that's like $11.99 just because there's a lot of games that work real well on Steam Deck, so it's like and I think that one was last month, and I played it a little bit and I really liked it, and I was like, oh, I'd really like to have this. Oh, they got these. This is DLC. This card is DLC. I mean, it's microtransactions to crap ham back.
They're like, you want that fancy ice cream car? That'll be $1.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool they got the Batmobile and stuff like that. That would be really cool to have, but at the same time, it's like $14. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to spend. I don't know if I'll play it that much to spend that much money on it, but. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool game. I liked it. It runs really good on Steam Deck. It runs a good 60 frames a second.
It looked really good on the Series S too. I only played it for like maybe 20 minutes, but I was like, oh man, this is a pretty cool game, and I like the colors and stuff, so I could definitely see myself playing it for a while.
Yeah.
And after a long hiatus, well, I played this for the last show. I haven't played any more Halo Infinite. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last show, but me and a buddy have been co-oping Halo Infinite a little bit. And I gotta tell you, it's like Assassin's Creed Halo, pretty much.
Yeah, it is.
Get to that open world, and I was like, whoa, there's stuff everywhere. But that is a dang good co-op game. And I gotta say, I haven't played a Halo game since like 3, and I'm like, all right, where's my dual wielding and stuff? But that's all good. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like it is fantastic. All the vehicles are there that you remember. I know fans of the show. Plus, if Robert was on the show, was on the episode today, I know I think he's played a lot of it. So
probably,
it's good times.
I liked Halo Infinite. I liked it a lot. I haven't played it since they added co-op, but I liked the game. I thought it was pretty fun. I know a lot of people dumped on it, but
yeah, there are a lot of complaints like it's unpolished and the campaign sucks. And I'm like, 2 hours in, I'm like, this is a lot of fun. This is a lot better than a lot of the co-op things. And
it's not that it was broken; it's that it's incomplete, and that's what drives people. It's like, hey, it should have had this, it should have had this, it should have had this, it should have had this all at launch, and it's just like, hey, it took them forever to add a lot of those things, so it's just kind of like sour taste in people's mouths, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. But you know what?
For good reason, because like, come on, guys, like you did Halo dirty. I'm sorry, like.
Yeah.
You need to have all those things that it's known for at launch. You can't just be like, oh, we'll do it later. Oh, wait, no, later came, and then went, and then more later, and then finally, oh, look, we kind of added it in. Cool. It's like, it's a bit too late.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a game that had that studio is, I don't know about that studio. Let's get that Activision deal done and let somebody else take over Halo.
Somebody else tinker with it.
Yeah,
And then
Sledgehammer or somebody like that.
I finally
they just need to replace some of the people at the top who manage it, and they'll be just fine. The artists are great. Like Halo
all
the Halo stuff they've ever put out of 343. It looks nice and all of that. It's just kind of like you need to have the people at the top with a good enough vision and management to, not have to delay it a bunch, and then even after delaying it for a year, it's still incomplete, and then all these features come in like many months later, and then more months later after that.
I mean, what co-op
so spread out and ridiculous. It's just like, come on.
Co-op was almost 2 years after release, or a year after release, I guess a year after
yeah,
release,
I forget how long for like Forge and all those things. It's like they eventually got a bunch of things in there, but it's like, guys, like, what are you doing?
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah, pretty much sums it up. The only other thing I played was I finally finished Dying Light 2. I finished that actually today. So I had about like 20 hours left since the last time I played a lot of it. I've been like kind of co-oping with a couple of friends who are a lot further behind. But I was like, let's see how much story I have left. There's not that much. There's a couple fun Easter eggs, and I did them, and I got weapons, but since I'm already pretty much done with the game, I didn't really need that stuff. So it's kind of like, Yeah, there's a couple different endings. Depends on what sides you choose. I don't know. My one buddy seems to really like the story, and I had a very hard time. Like, I just didn't care about the story. We skipped through most of the cutscenes or just speed through them, which is what I did. And gotta save the city, save a couple people. I'm like, I think I like, looking back, I played a lot of the first one, and the co-op experience was probably better for that. It just seemed, I don't know, more fluid, and it was easier to drop in, drop out. Plus, you could jump. Your buddy could join you at the. Oh no, I'm thinking Dead Island co-op, but no, it's fine. I mean, I put 70 hours into it over a year, so it's a pretty long game. I mean, you could probably get it done in 30. I just did a lot of side quests.
That's like Destiny. I really liked playing Destiny. The story wasn't that great. It was more the co-op experience with the people that I played with was more fun. And sometimes playing the game with people was more fun with the game mechanics than it is the actual story. As much as you hate to say that, because I really like good story-driven games, but at the same time, it's like, my problem with Destiny was like, hey, yeah, you've unlocked all this stuff. Go read it on your telephone if you want to know, or your cell phone if you want to know more about the lore. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. So it kind of just became all right, let's hop in and play and unlock a bunch of weapons and call it a night, and we have fun doing that.
Yeah, and for me, like, I like Destiny as well. I didn't play much of the second one, but the first one, I got behind. I'd been playing with you guys and some other guys, and I just stopped playing. I got behind, and I was like,
I put 500 hours in the first Destiny.
Ooh, that's a lot of time.
That was a lot of time. Of course, I was unemployed at the time, looking for work, so I had a lot of extra time on my hands. And my buddy he worked nights, so he was home, by 1 o'clock in the morning, and me and him would play until 8 o'clock in the morning every night. And I'd get up and we'd play for 7 hours a night, Monday through Friday. I mean, it was, I had a lot more free time on my hands back.
That's a lot.
Yeah, those days are gone.
A lot of time.
Long gone. Those days are long gone.
You still play games with him or anything? You talk to him?
We still keep in touch. He's a friend from North Carolina. It was funny he was a customer when I worked at GameStop, and we've been friends ever since. But he doesn't even have time to play anymore. He just had a baby, and it's like, and it's like, like I told him, I said, if I'm not, well, I think I told you the other day, it's like, if I want to play, you're gonna have to be on PC, and I play on Steam Deck or something. Other than that, I might get a Saturday evening to sit down and play, but it hasn't really panned out. So,
yep, I can relate. Lots of options to play stuff, but I'm like, I'm just gonna play, like, if I want to, most likely on PS5 or PS5 or the Steam Deck.
I couldn't even tell you the last time I had my PS5 on. I'd say it's at least been 7 months, maybe longer than that.
I'm trying to think, like, last time I had my Switch on, like 2 or 3 months ago, probably just to check something.
I haven't had the Switch on since Live Alive came out, and I played it for 5 minutes, and I bought the new Pokemon game, and I think I booted it up and made my character, and that was it. That's 2 times in a year I've had it on.
I'm preparing to choke on a bunch of dust when I bring up the Wii, or not the Wii, the Switch for Zelda in a couple months.
Yeah.
It's been longer that I've played on the Switch than even that, because I don't know the last thing I played on Switch.
Yeah, once Steam Deck came out, I quit playing Switch stuff. It's just I was having more fun on Steam Deck with it.
I pick up the Steam Deck, I go, ooh, it feels so good. Oh, look at those colors. Oh, look what I can do. And I pick up the Switch and I go, it's flimsy. Something's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, even I even have the OLED Switch, and it's just like the fidelity's better on my Steam Deck.
Let's do the door test. I'll close each of them in a door and I'll let you know how.
Yeah, I know how that'll work out. Yeah, I know how it'll work out.
Surprisingly, the door breaks from both of them.
Yeah, that is weird. It's funny how that would happen, right?
The Switch spouts. No, the Steam Deck spouts arms and pushes the door away. The Switch just gives up. No, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny how that is. And, like I still try to find time to play my retro consoles and stuff, but most of that it's just stuff I'm interested in or trying to play a little bit with friends. And
I haven't even. Depends. I brought a Retro Tink 5X and I have used it one time.
What?
One time. It's just sitting here underneath the TV right there, and I just haven't had time. I mean, I'm out of town 5 days a week, and then when I come home, it's like you're doing stuff around the house and. Yeah, it used to be Saturdays. I'd stay up till 3:00 in the morning and play games. Now it's like 10:00 comes, and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting really tired. Maybe 11:00. I'll stay up and then go to bed. It's like
I think I can relate. I'm like, all right, it's 10:30. I'll stay up another half an hour. Maybe I'll play some games. 5 minutes later, I'll sleep. I'm like, all right, screw it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. I think over President's Day weekend, I made sure I turned on the GameCube. Played a little bit of Mario Kart Double Dash, make sure the GC loader's still working. Turned on the PS1, fired up the Psycho, played I think I played Twisted Metal 2. Just enough to make sure. I'm like looking at my Dreamcast. I'm like, I need to really turn this on too and make sure everything's good.
Yeah.
But it's just having time and different interests. But anyway, I haven't been playing much, so I'm looking forward to the next big game. I'm either going to try Cyberpunk, Ghost of Tsushima, I might get Hogwarts. I've been thinking about Hogwarts. So we'll see.
I don't know what I'm going to play next. I have so many games to play, and I just keep buying them. That's the thing, is I just keep buying them. Yeah.
It's a disease.
Well, what was it I said in our chat the other day? It was like Fanatical had two bundle deals going on. One was a $25 deal, and the other one was a support the whatever, and it was like 25 games for $12.
Too cheap. I can't say no.
So and I bought them, and I mean, there's a lot of really good games that I really wanted in the bundle, but it's like, holy crap, when am I going to have time to play this? I mean, my Steam library is teetering around 900 games now. It's like, good God, it's like there's a lot of games. And I even bought the new Yakuza game, the Like a Dragon game. I bought it on Steam because regardless of whether I'm going to play that game tomorrow or next year, I always buy it day one because I want Sega to know to keep making those games because I'll buy it. I feel that I need to buy it.
You don't need to add your support as much as you might have in the past.
I know.
They're very much in. They've had lots of recent success.
They have, yeah. But that one was a game that I really, really wanted on PS4, and I never imported it. And then when they remastered it and brought it out as Like a Dragon, I was like, okay, this is cool. And I've played it for 5 minutes. So far, what little bit I played, it runs awesome on Steam Deck. So I really want. I'm like, okay, can I play this and Hogwarts at the same time? Maybe I can play Hogwarts one day and this the next day. No. I just don't want to. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. It's just
that Atomic Heart looks kind of cool too. I kind of want to check that out, even though people are like, don't play it. No. Don't support the dev. I'm like,
I'm more on like the reviews of it. So like people that I trusted not are the ones that are on the side that don't like it. There's so many mixed reviews on that
Yeah.
game, and even the like better ones aren't like
Hey,
amazing.
it's
So it's
it's
like
on it's on Game
It's on
Pass.
Game
with-
Pass,
with-
so I'll
I've
try
got
it out.
so many other things to play that I'm like, I don't need to go that. I need to go back and play some of the stuff I bought
Right.
on Christmas
Yeah.
time on Steam. I'll start on that list.
I'll try it
There's a-
out.
There's a 78 gigabyte day one patch though. Heads up.
Jeez.
Woof.
That's
That
a
doesn't
that's a
surprise
beefy
me.
one.
That's just patching. You're re-downloading the whole entire game.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty much.
Oh, didn't I already download this?
Yep.
I
pretty
figure
much.
I'll figure I'll dabble in it. Check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try it. I mean,
I mean,
why
it looks
not?
pretty for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely,
Yeah.
it looks nice.
yeah. I mean,
People say it scratches a little bit of that Dishonored itch.
well, and I hear that and a lot of that Bioshock itch too.
It's
so,
definitely not a Dishonored game. There's no way.
yeah.
It's
Well,
way
I'll
more
play
towards
it
like
and tell
a
you what I
Bioshock.
think.
Like from what I've looked at it, I don't see any of the actual Dishonored stuff. You're not like teleporting around and stuff. It's very much more Bioshock or like especially Bioshock Infinite, except just like Russian flavor. That's the vibe I get from like
So
the stuff. that's
never
going on with it.
mind. So things are more broken and made out of technology from the 80s. I'm sorry.
Well,
Oh,
maybe all
Bioshock
right.
Infinite. I haven't. Yeah, man. I meant to go back and play that when they put out the
Infinite's
the
my favorite
remastered edition.
Bioshock.
Yeah, mine
Really?
too. Infinite's my favorite
Wow,
Bioshock too.
all right.
Yeah, I liked it a
I
lot.
really like the first one too, and I think I tried to replay the
They're
second
all
one
good.
several years ago. It's yeah. Infinite stuff. Especially, what's crazy about Infinite too is at the end. You get to the end and the twist, and you're just like, whoa. But
I remember buying Bioshock on the 360, and the day it launched, the demo came out, and I tried it, and I played the demo for 5 minutes and liked it so much. I got in the car, drove to GameStop that night, 5 minutes before they closed, and said I would like to buy a copy of this game, and I played it all the way through the rest of the weekend. I mean, that was a game when it came out on the 360. It was just like nothing else.
There was nothing
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
And I remember my buddy had it for PC, and I fired it up. I'm like, what is this? This is a crazy, like, unique FPS with like this kind of weird story. I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, but Infinite's still my favorite. I love Bioshock Infinite.
I beat all the DLC. Yeah, those good times.
People who played Bioshock and thought that there was nothing like it were too young or forgot about System Shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I had never played System Shock because
It's
I wasn't
in the
a
name, people.
I
It's in the
wasn't
name.
a I wasn't a PC player, so I didn't
Yeah.
play it.
That remaster is still coming
With
out
me,
too.
ooh. System Shock, especially System Shock 2, is so good. But
Yeah.
they're both good games too. It's just they're old at this point, so
Right,
you
yeah.
need to
Yeah,
try
System
it.
Shock remake still coming out this year. They had a demo. I played the demo. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
Not a lot of news this week. There was a state of play. It was meh. I missed the first.
I didn't watch the state of play, but they announced something during it that excites me.
Yeah, there was some cool things. I didn't.
was it Street Fighter 6, Nathaniel? That's your dream game, right?
Oh yes, Street Fighter 6 that I totally no. I'm not a Street
Who
Fighter.
makes that? Who makes that game
No.
again? That's Namco, right?
I think it's them Street Fighter company. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, I missed the beginning of it. I think I watched I think I missed the first 10 or 15 minutes of it. I don't think I missed much. It was the Humanity trailer, and was it, how you say that? Ticha?
Chicha?
I don't know.
I don't know how you say it, because like I said, I missed it, so I didn't go back and watch.
I know some of the VR too, PlayStation VR stuff looked pretty good. Are you gonna, John? Are you gonna get VR too?
I wasn't, because it's $600. If you
It's a spicy meatball.
if you want it
Yeah.
if you want it with the Horizon game, I've thought about it.
So one of my coworkers bought it
Yeah.
and has it and has played a bit of the Horizon thing and says it's really, really cool, especially when they walk over your head.
Yeah.
And he also says that like now that he's set it up, he could just bring in his PlayStation and the headset into work. He doesn't even need a screen once you set it up.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like,
It's a
okay,
lot.
sure, bring that into work. We'll totally
Yeah.
work one day on
Yeah.
doing research.
So my buddy has one, and he played the kayak game and some Star Wars game. He's telling me about.
Yeah, I've got the Star Wars game on the Quest. It's the Galaxy's
Vader.
Edge Batu game.
Got it. I thought
Yeah.
it was Vader.
No, it's not the
Immortal.
Vader Immortal game. It's
Vader Immortal's pretty good.
Yeah, I have it on Oculus, and I also have it on PSVR as well.
I bet Gran Turismo's probably fun in VR.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard Gran Turismo is pretty fun in VR, and I've heard the Horizon game is really, really cool. I hear it's like the climbing game that's on the MetaQuest. Yeah, there's a lot of climbing in it and stuff like that. So it sounds like, I don't know. I'm tempted to buy it. I really don't want to pay another bill right now.
It looks cool. Yeah. I'm not buying it because it's Sony. They're going to put out however many things on here, and then like by the time PlayStation 6 comes around, you won't be able to use it, and
I know. Yeah.
Whatever comes out won't be backwards compatible again because I want you to buy the new hardware. So
yeah, I know.
But the hardware does look neat. It does look cool.
4K OLED screens. The eye tracking stuff really interests me. That's the one thing I always hated about the PSVR and the Meta was, if I had the mask on or the glasses on and I was looking left or right, I'd have to turn my head left or right to get it to focus. I really like of not having to, if I just glance over at this end, it tracks my eyes where I'm going.
Yeah,
it definitely went more modern and cutting edge this time.
You said the tracking's
better,
less bulky, the headset's more comfortable. Like, I like, the original VR, but all the cables and the annoyance of setting it up, and you need so much space. Like, I would need to put it downstairs.
Yeah.
In my living room.
And I had the space for it, and I look at being a Quest owner and then seeing the stuff that the PlayStation VR has. They've adapted a lot of that Quest stuff, like the tapping, and I can tap a button and see my surroundings and everything. Quest has had that. All you got to do is slap the side of it, and boom, you can see
a lot of that
stuff.
Like, they're all pulling from each other and adding stuff in, so it's
which is cool.
Pushing each other to add new features, which is definitely nice.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, they've added a lot of features that the Meta Quest have that I liked, and then the fidelity on it seems really, really cool. The 4K and the
it seems with like PSVR 2, they're like, let's take some of the stuff from like the Quest and then some of the stuff from the high-end PC and then make something in the middle.
Yeah, I'm tempted. I've mulled it over actually all weekend because I could go on and order one right now, but like I said, I almost hate to have another bill for a year, to finance.
So without Horizon, what is it like?
$550.
Man,
$50 less. It's still not cheap.
It's like you're paying for the game. That's pretty much
you're paying for the game. But you got to remember, you've got your controllers are DualSense. They do the finger tracking thing like
it's actually not that much more expensive than PSVR 1 if you had nothing to start with.
Right,
You would have had to buy the controllers and the camera and all that stuff with it. This time it comes that way.
Or, you could be me and not pay for your PSVR 1. I got lucky and I won it.
Yeah.
And then I hooked it up once and went, oh, this is really cool. But then my buddy, he had his with all of his games. And he's like, come over, play it anytime. I'm like, okay, he's already got it set up. He's got more space than I do.
And I have a ton of games,
And I discovered playing Resident Evil 7 in VR was not for me.
Yeah, and
that was not for me.
I really need to sit down and see what old VR games have a bunch of updates. Because apparently some of them have updated for free for PS5. So
I had some cool stuff.
Yeah, and I had a crap ton load. I have a crap ton. I said had. I have a crap ton load of PSVR games. So it's like if a lot of those have some kind of free update for PS5, that would maybe lean my way too, because I wouldn't. Probably the only game I'd buy was Star Wars. Because it looks so much different on playing the Meta version and then seeing the PS4 5 version. It's like, holy crap, this game looks so much better on PS5 than it did on the Quest. And I thought it looked pretty cool on the Quest, right? Yeah. And I thought it looked pretty cool on the Quest. So
just a little difference in processing power there, just
a tad. I mean, not a lot. Just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I've been very tempted this weekend. I've been reading and watching a lot of stuff, so I've gotten a lot of FOMO.
It's definitely something I'd like to try, but it's way too expensive because I know I'll use it for a little bit and then it'll just sit there, gather dust, and we'll be like, nah, it's too expensive for that.
Yeah.
So
I think about that too.
So what game was it that you were the most excited about, Nathaniel, that was in the thing for?
I didn't watch the state of play, but because they talked about Baldur's Gate 3, they had a full
buddy.
trailer for that full release at the end of August, and so I'm already thinking like at least all of September. That's pretty much what I'll be playing because that's gonna be a huge game.
So good.
It's been early access forever. I've been tempted to buy it a couple times. I probably will buy it before it leaves the early access because then you get the deluxe version, a digital deluxe for upgrade for free if you do that.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is in 2020 I replayed both Baldur's Gate games and I finished the first one, but I almost finished the second one. Ooh boy, get myself prepared.
I'm tempted to buy it. Go ahead and buy it too. It is playable on Steam Deck. Yeah. I don't know what kind of condition it runs on Steam Deck, but I haven't really looked into it. But yeah, and that was one of the things. The way of course, with it being a Sony show, they only said it was PS4 or PS5 day one. It is coming out on Xbox at some point. There's a lot of different reasons flying around. I don't know what's true and what's not. The devs say they're having trouble getting the split screen to work on the Xbox for some reason. The rumor is because they have to program it for the Series S, and people are saying that the Series S is holding it back. But the devs have come out and said that's not true.
Definitely,
but who knows?
That's got to be true, at least to an extent,
yeah,
because they also raised the minimum system requirements a little bit, just because they've been developing it for 3 or 4 years, whatever at this point.
Yeah.
And so they did that as well.
Yeah. I mean, if the only thing is the split screen co-op stuff is holding it back, I mean, the thing runs on Steam Deck.
They're putting it on a bunch of different platforms. So it's something, if it's giving them some trouble, then they're like, okay, it's just delaying it.
And they've said it is coming to Xbox. They're just not ready to say that it's going to be ready by the 31st.
So it'll be PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, right?
Yep. Yeah. As far as I know, I don't know if it's coming on Switch or anything like that. I don't think so.
Oh, there's no way it's coming to Switch. Like, come on. It's doing. Yeah, it's also going to be on Mac and GeForce Now streaming.
Right. Yeah, it'll be on GeForce, of course.
But I did the same with kind of Divinity Original Sin 2 because that game was kickstarted and then was in early access on Steam for a while. I was like, I waited till the full release, and their games were worth waiting for because they're so like huge and expansive.
I never finished the first one. The second one, I had a good time playing co-op with a buddy. It was pretty. He likes like pen and paper RPGs and would play Gloomhaven, so I thought that he would like it, like Divinity Original Sin 2. But he was like, I thought it was a blast. I'd like to have a co-op buddy, and then not depend on this AI. But actually, the AI.
You never have to depend on the AI.
You can control it.
You just control every single character in your party, man. Like, it's made for that.
It's good to have. It's good to have somebody.
I'm definitely going to get it. It's like. But I'm going to have to clear out some space on the Steam Deck for it because minimum is 150 gig install.
It's a big game with a lot of voices. J.K. Simmons was in the trailer, so they got a cool celebrity voice to drum up some interest. And that's just like a type of game that I really, really tend to enjoy, especially like Larian's last few games. So like they're doing some of the similar stuff that they did in Divinity Original Sin that's just now in the D&D universe. So that will be really, really cool because I remember I've watched like some of the updates that they've done over time where they're like, hey, we've added this into the game, and they do some streams, but not all of them. So I'm aware of some of the stuff that they have in there, but it'll be fun to discover like just everything because if they've added like all of the different classes and stuff, it's going to be such a huge game to play.
Yeah, it really is.
And I'll enjoy it. It's my second most anticipated game this year.
Ooh, what's the first one?
Hollow Knight Silk Song, if indeed it's supposed to come out this year because it was in that whole Xbox show that was like everything's coming out in the next 12 months. So like they still don't have a date for it. So hopefully it's all still coming out before June, but we shall see.
I have been playing some Hollow Knight on Xbox. The first one, it's fun. It's okay. It's pretty challenging for someone like me.
That game is a classic. It's so good. I've beaten it all the way, like all the DLC and all of that stuff, and also like replayed big huge chunks of it and watched people play it. It's very much. It's kind of like let's do a Metroidvania, but throw in some Dark Souls lore type flavor into it as well. So it has kind of that sort of world that you're running through, and it's perfect. I love that game so much.
Yeah.
There's so many like hidden little secrets in Hollow Knight.
Yeah, I like that game a lot too. I guess the big thing they talked about on the State of Play was Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, or kill the Justice League. I keep wanting to say Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. That's the way that's the title of the game for me. It looks cool. I don't know. I'm going to have to wait until that game comes out and see some reviews, because there was a lot of jumping around. It looks to me like it's Crackdown meets Destiny for some reason. Crackdown 3 meets Destiny.
Yeah, I'm still not sure exactly what that game is.
I'm not either.
Like, it's not like the Arkham games for sure.
No.
Like maybe kind of level design wise but it's definitely seems to be more about like, hey, you're just like flying around and doing lots of crazy movement while you're fighting people. Maybe it's more like they were inspired by something closer, like I just forgot it. Sunset Overdrive.
Oh yeah.
Kind of that seems to be more of the vibe they're going for, like their own version of that.
I could see that
set in the DC universe.
I don't know. I just keep getting this is going to be a game like Destiny vibes. I don't know why. It just does for some reason to me. It just seems.
I'm turned off because they have like battle pass stuff. It's just cosmetic and all these other things.
Yeah.
But I'm like, just don't put it in your giant game. There's no reason for that.
Yeah. I mean,
do it like the Spider-Man games where you unlock suits by playing it, or any other game that does it that way. We don't want to have some stupid other thing that we have to like play it and forever and ever because you want us to play your game and never stop. Like, don't do that.
Right? Yeah. I don't know.
Stop making it overly complicated for what it actually needs to be.
I'm going to have to wait until some reviews come out for it before I would commit to it. So.
I tend to do that anyway, unless it's like a studio that I've really trust usually, and them probably would, except for I didn't like the last Arkham game that they put out forever ago at this point.
Arkham Knight?
Yeah, Arkham Knight. Yeah, like, that's been a while since that released. Like, it wasn't a terrible game, but it's enough for me. Like, okay, I'll wait and see how this game turns out before I actually decide to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Batman games I buy.
I'm sure, hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll have a better launch than Gotham Knights did.
Yeah, I hope so too.
That game was rough when it came out. So if the next big DC game also has, performance issues and all sorts of bugs and stuff at launch, you're like, come on, guys.
Well, and they've already delayed it, once? Didn't they? When it's supposed to come out Christmas, and they delayed it?
Every big game at this point has been delayed due to, like, COVID or some other thing, or just normal development, too. So it's like, probably. I just don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either at this point. I mean, so many things have been that I don't remember. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have more faith in Rocksteady than, so maybe.
Rocksteady is a talented studio that's made some really good games, so hopefully this is also another one of those.
Yeah, I hope so.
It has potential.
Yeah, it does, but I don't know. Like I said, for some reason, I just get Destiny vibes from it, and I don't know why. I can't for one thing say, this is the reason why I get Destiny vibes on it. I just do.
Because it has a co-op in there?
Maybe, and it's always online co-op. Yeah, the game's always online, maybe. I don't know. And, and I just feel
always online, even though it's not online.
Right, yeah. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe they're not telling us the whole...
I haven't looked into it. Is it online? Is it supposed to be able to have like drop in, drop out co-op to where you can just be playing and then like a buddy can jump in? So that's probably why it's always online.
Yeah, that's why it's always online. But I mean, a lot of people are upset because you can't even like turn that off and play it offline. It's like, I don't know. I said, and Dennis,
you should be able to. Like, it's a single player game. You can play it that way. You should have the option to not play it online.
You should. But. I mean, anymore.
They can easily do that.
Yeah, they could. And they may fix it down the road to do that. Because what game did that?
Well, several games have done that before where, like, especially on PC, I know I've seen it, but, like, everywhere where it's like, okay, this game is old enough, we'll just, like, remove the online requirement for it or whatever. I'm not sure which one you're thinking of, though.
I don't either. I don't know if was Avengers always online at first.
I have no idea.
Might be.
And then they removed it.
That one would not make... I don't know. That would make that one just seems like it is an online game because talk
Yeah.
about Destiny. That game is Marvel Destiny.
Yeah, I mean it is, but I don't remember because
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what one I'm thinking of. Too many games go through my, through my head all the time. So who knows? Yeah, when you
It's that one, John. It's that one over there that you
that
can't
one,
think
yeah.
of. You know, the one.
Whatever. My brain anymore. What is anything? But yeah. I mean, other than that, I mean, there was a lot of VR stuff, which was good since the VR launched. That week.
Yeah.
We want to have a.
I mean, it was pretty much what they said it was going to be. So
Yeah.
because they said ahead of time, like if most of what was going to be in it, and it was.
What other? And I was thinking about this afternoon. What other first-party PlayStation games are coming out this year that they've announced so far?
Spider-Man.
Other than Spider-Man.
Unless it gets delayed, and then for some reason I think there's another one that I'm forgetting. But yeah, definitely Spider-Man. Supposed to. We don't have
Yeah.
There's always the chance it gets a delay.
I know Last of Us 2 was coming to PC, but other than Spider-Man, I couldn't think or one.
Last of Us 1.
Last of Us 1. Yeah.
They should put both on PC, but it's just one at this point.
Right.
I was trying to get the Last of Us Part 1 remaster for the collector's edition for weeks and weeks and weeks, and now with the show out, it went being. I mean, those pre-orders sold out like crazy for PS5, and then now with the show being popular, it's like $250. $275. So I just bought the one for Steam.
Yeah.
Yes. Steam is
it's $100 collector's edition. I'll take it. It'll look nice on the wall.
Should I buy the remaster on PlayStation or on PC where it's $10 cheaper? Yes. I'll buy it over here.
I'm like, look, it's been on sale. The collector's edition's been on sale all day and hasn't sold out. Okay. Easy. Take my money.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Well, see, at this point, though, it's like what? It's like a week before Jedi Survivor or something is when the PC version, or maybe the same week of that is when the PC version for Last of Us comes out. So I might not get it right away anyway.
No, I definitely.
I do want it on PC though, because I don't know. I like having it there. Plus, it'd be the place I'd want to replay it whenever I'd want to boot up that game rather than having to dig up my PlayStation copy.
Any more PCs where I'm buying games at because of Steam Deck? I mean, because that's where I'm playing at. When I'm on the road, I don't. Even though I was, lugging my Xbox Series S around with me, it's like I have not. I have not pulled the Series S out of the box since we got off the road last Memorial Day. It's been in the box ever since. So at this point, if I pull it out, I'm going to have a bunch of updates to do on it.
Have you ever done a size comparison of Steam Deck versus the Series S?
You mean for like weight?
For just like how big they are next to each other.
No.
The Series S is not that huge, so I was just curious what it looks like next to the Steam Deck.
You know
for
what?
no good reason.
I don't have it within reach. It's too bad. I was going to say, I have the back of the Steam Deck laying here where I put the new back on, but my Series S is in the other. I could easily grab it and go, but I bet it's only about that much, maybe a half inch to an inch on each side of it, if I had to guess. Just off the top of my head. Because I
guess that the weight-wise even isn't going to be too different.
No, I don't think it is. Because just from carrying it, holding it in my hand, they feel about the same. Because there's really nothing heavy in the Series S other than the motherboard, and the heat sink is probably the heaviest, or the power supply. The heat sink and power supply is probably two heaviest.
Yeah, that's where all the metal's at, and those are the two things. And there's all plastic and silicon and whatnot.
Yeah, so. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad you put that in here. I meant to put that in here.
Yeah, when he was talking about Hot Wheels earlier, I was like, oh yeah, they announced the next expansion for Forza is coming at the end of March.
Yeah.
That's about it. There's a trailer. It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Rally Adventure, so.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. And
now we know what the one after their Hot Wheels expansion was going to be. Is Rally Adventure. It should be fun. Like, that game is fun. The Hot Wheels one was pretty fun, that expansion. So I expect this one to be fun as well.
I do too. I mean, and I bought the I bought the expansion pass or whatever when they
the
to get the early access on Game Pass.
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah, it's like I did that. It's like, why not?
I'll get the early access at the time was fun, and then I knew like whenever the expansions come out, I probably won't like play them for that long, but play a few hours and it was worth it for me.
Yeah,
So.
it was for me too.
I already got my money's worth out of it anyways, so even if I don't play this new expansion, it's still fine. But
yeah, absolutely.
I'll probably pop it in at some point.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. I'll try to pull it up when it comes out and try it out for sure. Because I haven't played Forza 5 in a long time, so.
Yeah, it's been a couple months for me too.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Man, that game looks good. I just remember it just pops. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. But that's all I have. There wasn't a whole lot this week. Last week or 2 weeks ago was the Nintendo, and this week was PlayStation, and maybe Microsoft will do a something before our next show. I don't know. I mean, it's
come on, Microsoft. We got to do podcasts here.
Yeah, gotta have news. It's like gotta have news coming out. Somebody do something. Steam, Valve, come out with something. Somebody come out.
There's all sorts of stuff about like what's gonna be at E3 that's like swirling around. So maybe we'll get some leaks or something like that.
At this point,
it's just now almost March, so we're still a ways from E3. But it's like Ubisoft has said they're going to be there now. So
yeah, Nintendo's not, Sony's not, Xbox is not. It's like all three major ones have pulled out.
Xbox is not, but Xbox is because they're across the street doing their own thing at the same time. They're not there, but they're there thing again.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, it's sure, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It's all fine. Whatever. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all I got. If anybody else has anything else, we're gonna call that a show. Quick, easy, to the point. Talk about what we've been doing. Hopefully, I'll have some more time to play. I'd probably not, but
I expect your list to be the same one game next time as well.
Probably, unless I stop playing it to play something else. But I don't see that happening at this point. I mean, maybe because I'd like to get it done before. I'd like to get it done before Star Wars comes out because I do want to play Jedi Survivor when it comes out. My only thing is do I want to buy it? Am I going to buy it on Steam first, or am I going to buy it on Xbox first? That's going to be the real question. So.
Why would you buy it where you're not playing? Buy it on Steam.
Yeah, but I don't know if I don't know how well it's going to run on Steam Deck. That's the thing. Is I need to know.
Wait for the review embargo, and it will tell you.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping some of the people who do
help me out, Digital Foundry.
Yeah, somebody help me.
Can I get it on my Steam Deck, please?
Yeah, that's all I need to know. If it runs as good as the first one did on the Steam Deck, I would be fine with that. And it run 30 frames a second and looked nice and was very playable. So I don't need the fidelity. I can get the fidelity when I get home and boot it up on my PC and play it. I'm fine with that. It's like because it's like Hogwarts is. When I played it for so long on Steam Deck, and then I came home and thought, well, let me boot it up on the PC, and oh my gosh, look how beautiful this game is. And I mean, I thought it looked great on Steam Deck, and it really does. I mean, it looks really good on Steam Deck, but it's like, oh my gosh, it's way more shiny on the PC. Jeez, Louise, what in the... But, it's fine. It's fine.
It looks so pretty.
It does, But yeah, so. All right. Well, like I say, if you want to come join us live, follow us on Twitter at GL_podcast. That'll let you know when we're going to go live. And, if not, you'll get it on your podcast feed on Sunday afternoon when I upload it like I always do, unless I forget. Which, if I forget, it's going to be a whole nother week before it gets uploaded. So you better hope I remember. But, all right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out with us and listening, and we'll catch you guys next time.